John Carluccio is another Brooklyn-based filmmaker who documents African American culture. His feature-length documentary, Battle Sounds, was one of the first films to explore the art of turntableism and was showcased at the famed Whitney Museum's biennial in 1997.
I think what it is the competition in the battles is what kept hip-hop alive, because that competitive edge making one DJ want to be better than the next DJ, or it catapulted it into a challenging stage, which kept everybody on their toes.
Now he creates work for Current TV. He met with our homegirl Chivonnie at the Brooklyn Promenade to discuss his craft and career.
I just try to do things that can inspire people, or that have inspired me. I just try to point out things that maybe people didn't see, you know? Just because mainstream media has said this is what's cool or this is what it is, look again. I mean, one of my big things that keeps me motivated is like always taking a second look. Like always, like you walk past something and then just take another look.
I don't know. I think it looks like a submarine to me, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a figment of my imagination, perhaps.
I saw one in my neighborhood where somebody had outlined the street lamp where the shadow had been, and I actually thought it was the shadow at first. It kind of caught me. It felt like the sun had gone down, so it didn't seem reasonable that there'd be a shadow, and it made me look twice.
My background is in architecture. I studied architecture. I worked as an architect for a short time, and I found that like the way you approach architecture is you like look at a location or a site, and then you kind of react to that. You also react to clients' needs and stuff like that. But for me, I find that the idea of like reacting to something else and having certain limitations put on me, like if it's a documentary, like location, sound, lighting, whatever it is, being able to bounce off these kind of limitations gives me the opportunity to kind of come up with these creative choices. The process of making hip hop is a very do-it-yourself kind of process. And I think that part of it inspired me, you know, like just the way DJs would make pause tapes or just create music from something else, that collage type of thing, or even marketing yourself, you know, that kind of self-empowerment, it was, you know, very inspirational to me as I was starting to develop myself as an artist and filmmaker, and even as an architect. It was something that I was drawn to.
So what are you guys in town for?
Dynamic Producer Convention. It's the 5th year. I came last year actually. This is their first year coming to New York, and it's just a great experience. Love New York. The industry's right here, so we're just out here grinding, trying to make it happen.
I didn't sleep the day before because I was burning CDs and burning labels and trying to duplicate. I don't have a duplicate, so I had to do one by one. And I'm still running out of CDs because, you know, you networking, you're giving CDs away.
Your network is your net worth, period.
Right.
If I know 10,000, I can get 10,000 in 10 minutes.
Why should other people set the rules, you know what I mean? And I know also, when I was in architecture school, I remember I took some class, and the teacher was talking about architecture history and all that, and a Public Enemy song was played in some car that went by, and I heard the sirens of that song, and I was like, why aren't we talking about this? You know what I mean? This is happening right now, and we're gonna have to wait, what, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, you have to wait a period of time before it's in a book, before we can officially appreciate it. And I was like, I'm appreciating this now, why can't we talk about this now? Especially while these people are still alive. I mean, I look at the history of jazz, and a guy like Robert Johnson, there's only like 2 photos of him in existence. And he's the guitarist that Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page and all these guitarists just look up to. So I'm like,
let's celebrate life.
Yeah, while they're around, let's point to this, and also don't let other people dictate their story. Most of my own work has been revolved around like either, let's say, DJ world or graffiti world. I've done some little projects that are kind of these multimedia things where it's like live DJs with kung fu movies, which is called Hop Fu. Things right now, though, I've been doing a lot of short pieces for a network called Current. For a long time, I've wanted to do like these short little films about things that interest me. And this network came around, and a friend of mine who works with the network told me about it, and I was like, this is maybe the right thing. I could do some short films. Maybe I won't get paid that well the first time around, but I can get stuff on my reel, and then maybe the next time around get paid a little better. And also give me a little bit more freedom. I could step to someone and say, hey, I'm doing this for a network, as opposed to like, I'm doing this for like, I don't know, maybe it'll show up somewhere, a DVD thing, or I'm gonna pitch it to someone or whatever. Which is cool because they allow me to do things that are like that I'm interested in. It's not like really like an assignment thing. Like I'll say, hey, I want to do a thing about this group called Anti-Ballast. They do Afrobeat music, and they're like, oh, cool, we'll take it. We like something like that. So there's something really interesting about it. I'm like, but I don't necessarily want to make a whole film about it. So I'm like, maybe I'll just do this little piece, and that's it. Maybe I only need 7 minutes to tell a story about something that is really intriguing. I mean, if it went somewhere else, I'd love to make a big film about it, but sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just a little something, and then I can move on to the next story, and then I feel like I accomplished something. Because so many times in documentaries, it's like, it's this
Years
massive,
in the making.
yeah, it's this hill that you gotta like keep climbing up. And here it's like I can go start to finish the end, you know, and then go on to the next one, and not feel like I have all this like unfinished thought. It also, you know, allows me to like do 1 or 2 a month, and then if I can do that, and then at the same time work on my own projects. So that way I can be working on a big project and do these little things that are very, you know, meaningful as well.
Well, I came down because Gordon Parks is my hero. In no uncertain terms, from his photography, the filmmaking.
He was, to me, like the Jackie Robinson of photography, as far as, you know, because he was the first person that was on staff for Life magazine.
He pretty much cut across class. So he was able to connect with, you know, with the brothers on the block, to the homeless, and then actually he had the respect and was still able to handle himself.
I love hearing what inspires people. I love learning about how they get to point A, from point A to point B. And when I hear those kind of stories, and I can get that out of a participant in my film, or I feel that like that can help someone else who may be seeing themselves stuck at point A, you know, or as always said, I've seen this kind of person on the street, like this DJ, or a person that looks strange to them or something like that, or whatever it is, or I've seen this kind of art form, or I've seen graffiti or something, but I never really knew what it was about. And if I can bring a little bit more understanding to things that seem strange to people, then I guess I'm doing my job, and that's what I'm trying to do, I guess.